What's up, guys? How's it going today? Got a quick one here for you. Go over my buys real quick. Go over the couple trades I took. Took two trades today, and both of those trades we'll go over. Let's hop into the charts. Today was a weird day. You know, weirder price action. We opened up down here, right by these lows made yesterday. And I want to see these lows get hit because we also had these London lows and we created SMT here. Not a full. I wasn't really confident in this SMT just because it matched the lows, as you can see here on the SMP. On ES, we matched those lows, but we never hit them, so I counted that as a SMT. But my main draw were those equal lows, and then also the lows made right off market open. So we pretty much had three equal lows. I wanted to see those lows get hit right after the macro. But I also wanted to see these highs get hit. I wanted to see, because these were equal highs made all last night into this morning. Equal highs. And we also had two 1 hour fair value gaps. So my bias overall was bearish. I want to see us come up into this fair value gap right here, and then also come up into equilibrium. Come up into equilibrium right here. And what happens? We get that. We get up, we come up into these highs. Same thing on the S&P. We come up into these highs. We come up into the 1 hour fair value gap. S&P is lagging on the day, so I just expect the NASDAQ to come up into equilibrium while the S&P takes out the high, so we equal out price action and also sweep liquidity, giving me more confluence to take a short down to those lows. What happens? Macro opens. We have news at 9 a.m. Wasn't high impact news, so I wasn't very worried about taking it right before, but here, this is where I take the trade. I take it based off of hitting equilibrium and also closing below these last candle closes. So we get displacement on the 1 minute, and I take it based off that close. Now this wasn't the best trade. We had a 1 hour fair value gap right here, and yeah, as you can see, 9 a.m. took us out. Wasn't the best trade. We respected this 1 minute fair value gap here to the upside. That's what took me out. But to be able to not take this trade, which would have been the best thing to do, I could have zoomed out, seen that we were continuing bullish structure. My main target on this trade was equilibrium of this 5 minute fair value gap, just for a nice little 1 to 2. But I was playing it off a chance. I wanted to see us come down there, but I never was told, the market never told me that I wanted to go down there. Besides displacement of the lows, I didn't have really much more confluence is involved for me taking this trade. And what I should have done is waited for this 1 minute fair value gap to get disrespected. Would have made my RR a little bit worse, but it would have been more of a high confluence trade. So yeah, that's my first trade I took off of that close a candle off the displacement. And then my second trade, after we just continued going up for the day, I wanted to see us either equal out price action, come back down, rebalance price action. Get rid of all this. Disrespected 1 hour fair value gaps. Disrespected the 15 minute fair value gap. Also broke 15 minute structure, so I was like, bet. We're overextended. We obviously want to go up into these highs, but before we hit those highs, I want to see us rebalance price action so I can catch a leg, catch a little short off of it, maybe targeting a 5 minute fair value gap. But what happens instead is that we come down into this 5 hour fair value gap, balancing out price action. And I didn't think there was going to be much more trades for me, but then we create this 1 minute fair value gap, come into it. So we get a good reaction off this 1 minute fair value gap. I'm like, bet, I'll take this trade targeting these highs for an easy 1 to 1. We get that. I enter off this candle after we close above this 1 minute fair value gap, target these highs, and then in 2 candles we hit the highs. I de-risked on both of these trades just because they both weren't high confluence. Obviously, this one was more high confluence. It's in the direction of the drawn liquidity. Drawn liquidity is right there. and it was an easy fair value gap continuational trade. And I de-risked on both of them. So I ended in profit for the day, but pretty much break even. And then yesterday, the video I uploaded, that one trade I took actually turned into 2 trades after I turned that video off. So you can call it a crash out, you can call it revenge trading, call it whatever you want, but it was a high confluence trade in my direction, and that's why I took it. I took it on the S&P 500. Right there. So after I got taken out yesterday, I was just sitting on the charts watching them. Saw that we created this 15-minute fair value gap after breaking 15-minute structure, continuing 15-minute order flow, and then I also saw these highs right here that I wanted to get hit, and then these highs above. And we drop down to the 5-minute. We have 5-minute fair value gap, everything within here. So I'm like, bet. We reacted strong. We closed strongly off of this 15-minute fair value gap. We closed strongly off this 15-minute fair value gap. Got a good reaction off of it on this candle right here, this white candle. We closed way above. Gave me confidence that we wanted to continue higher and seek out these highs. So I scaled down to the 5-minute. I didn't want to take it straight off that 15-minute close because that wouldn't have been a good RR because it closed so high. So I wanted to see a 5-minute retrace down into one of these fair value gaps. We get it into here. And then we also come back into this inverse 5-minute fair value gap. And then as soon as we tap into this inverse, I take it. I didn't let the candle close just because I wanted to see a good RR. And I put my stops there. I believe I put my stops underneath these lows, targeting these highs for 1 to 3, but I also had my TP1 just in case we want to continue lower, or SMT something. Put my TP1 there, and then TP2 and a TP3 up here. De-risked. I only risked, I think it was like 0.3 or 4. And then we went up, ended up taking out both of my TPs. Didn't reach TP3 because we wanted to come back down, sweeping these lows, and then continue higher after news. But I'm happy with this trade. It was pretty much in my direction the whole time. High confluence. What I should have done all day was wait for this trade to play out. Wait for a clear setup like this on a higher time frame, especially if price isn't moving in my direction like it was today or moving as cleanly as I wanted it. The best thing to do is sit on the higher time frame, wait for an entry on the higher time frame, and scale down maybe into the 5-minute and then take a trade within there. Because if I would have tried to take this trade in a 1 minute, here we go. Where the fuck are we? Okay. If I want to take this trade on the 1 minute, and then I see us come down into maybe these fair value gaps here, and then I wanted to put my stops. If I wanted to enter off this fair value gap here and put my stops below it to target those highs, I would have gotten taken out. So the higher time frame is easier for me to take trades off of. That's what I really need to stick to. And if you're struggling within your trading right now, stick to the higher time frame. You'll have more thought. You'll have more thoughts behind your actions. You won't have to think so quickly and trying to catch a trade when you can just wait the 5 minutes to close and then catch a trade off of that. And yeah, that's the trades I took. Today and yesterday was pretty much the same day. You know, I took an L early on. Don't even need to be taking those trades. 2 trades that were low confluence and just me wanting to take a trade. And then I come back later and I take a high quality trade and that ends up going in my direction. So main focus now on is knowing to stay on the higher time frame, knowing that price is going to move in its direction maybe later on in the day. Maybe just catch a trade when it's obvious, like it was today. We want to come up and hit those highs. I took that trade based off that 1 minute for value gap. Right here. And we are continuing higher. I could have held on, but you know what? I'll take the profits. Pretty much break even. Past 2 days. Still down on the week from Monday's loss. I'll pull up my P&L. So this is what the week's looking like. Today we're up 113. Nothing much. Pretty much break even. But yeah, here's that trade on Monday that I took. it was one of the messed up trades. I messed up quite a bit. Had some difficulties taking the trade, some difficulties executing the trade, and then also the trade was a bad trade. So that was Monday. This was yesterday. This was Wednesday. Tuesday I didn't take a trade. This was Wednesday, down 800, and then boom, Wednesday is long. That second trade I took Wednesday right here, got it all back. Wasn't trying to revenge trade, just trying to get a high quality setup, which was there, which I took the opportunity to take. And then also, we had today's trade. The first trade was right here, de-risked as you can see, and then the second trade was a 1-to-1, so I de-risked as well, which put me in profit for the day. Overall, down on the week about, what is that? About 600 or so about down 0.6. Break even from last week, but it's all right. There's my executions of the trades I took. As you can see, took a short here, got stopped out here, took a long here, and then I closed it here. Pretty simple, pretty easy. I just got to stick to the higher time frame, stick later into the day, or just stick to the clear targets on liquidity. I'll be all right. And you guys should do the same if you're having troubles with your trading. Stick to the higher time frame, stick to the basics. You guys will be all right. Hope you guys learned something. I'll see y'all later. Peace out.